Okay, so we're going live, and I'm going to see if I could pull this up on my computer. Gotta turn the sound off first. And let's see. That way I can see the chat. Uh-oh. Let's try turning this around. Sorry about that. There we go. Is that better? Okay. So I'm going to pull up the chat on my computer so that I could see it better instead of from my phone. And looks like we have 3 people already. Hello, guys. Let's see if we can get this computer going. And if you guys said hi before this got going. Oh, I'm going to have to update in here. Oh, we're good. Okay. Backyard Eden, hey, how are you? So, I'm going to pop up my chat window so I can see it better. I think we're good. Okay, so I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And Discovery, hello, welcome. There should be a 3rd person unless it's, oh, actually, it might be counting me on my computer. Didn't even think about that. So we'll let some people join in here. I know Coco Noel just said hi on my announcement video a minute ago. There you are. Hi, Coco. I saw you're saying hello on my announcement video a moment ago. So we just got going. And see if anyone else joins us here. And just going to go over a few things today, mainly what we've been doing this week. I'm a little behind on posting videos, so I still have videos from last weekend that I need to get up, edited and up, but you got to take care of stuff around the house before taking care of editing, so got to have the priorities. But we did get a few videos out this week. I've been let's see, what do we have? We have Foraging with Daryl Patton. Patton came out. That was from the Homesteaders of America conference. So, and that was very interesting. I think I mentioned last week that I was about to put that video out. So that was definitely good. I actually purchased his book on Nook and just started reading it. And it's basically just stories about his mentor, or from his mentor, who is Tommy Bass. So I just started reading that. It's almost like a transcript of the stories, I think, so far anyway, into that book. So that one, I'll let you know how it is as I get further into it. But oh, Brian Wade is here in Finite World. Hi guys, welcome. Now have 7 people on. Awesome. So everyone's saying H2OK, welcome. Nice to join us here. But yeah, I mean, some of the things I have actually been doing over the last week that we just haven't been recording really is we're still cleaning out our garden and still harvesting things, although we had our first frost on, what was that? I think that was Wednesday morning. So, and it was a hard frost. We had, I think it was 28 degrees when I woke up on Wednesday morning. It was cold. And I do keep glancing at the computer because I have my chat coming up on the computer instead of on my cell phone over here. But let's see, Lefty's Hobby Farm is in. Hey, cool, getting more and more people. So, yeah, I don't know how many of you guys, I don't know how many of you guys are actually in our region, but, and I know in the upper Midwest, like Minnesota and stuff, they all had snow this week, and a lot of it. We didn't get any snow, which is fine with me. Not yet, anyway. So, and I don't know, did I say hi to you, Backyard Eden? Oh my gosh, I'm now forgetting who I said hi to. So welcome all of you guys. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you, Finite World. Yeah, the Foraging Walk with Daryl Patton. He is he knows a lot, not just about the plants themselves, but about the biochemistry behind all of it and how things work and all of that. So, and that's something I'm actually interested in because I work in the medical field. I'm not a doctor. I'm a genetic counselor. So I'm in genetics, not so much in treatments and stuff, but just to know how, different plants can be used and knowing the reasons behind it. What is it in those plants that work the way they do? So I'm currently doing my own set of research on different plants and trying to take it kind of one step at a time as we go through it. And Bandana Grandma's here. So hey, how are you? We're getting busy. We're getting more and more people joining us each week, so that's cool. I'm not sure if Mike will be able to join us this week. We'll see if he pops in briefly in a few minutes or not. But we do have we had a cooking video posted last week, didn't we? That may have been the week before, but we have one coming that we recorded next week. So we have a Scotch eggs video coming up. So Backyard Eden is in Texas, so no snow. We had a hard frost though. Sorry, get distracted by the chat sometimes. No, but we do have a cooking video coming up. I will try to get that done probably. That one's probably going to be next, because if I do the foraging video, we went foraging with Nobby last weekend, and editing a foraging video of 3 hours of footage to try to get it down to under 20 minutes takes some time. So that usually takes me a couple days, to get through, a couple evenings to get through. So hopefully that'll go out by the end of this week, because we're basically done foraging now because, well, it's cold. So, yay, we have lots of people in the room. Cool. Who did just join us? Did I miss anyone? I think everyone who's chatting I've said hi to. Bandana Grandma, hi if I missed you. Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, we've been doing a lot. We just pulled our last potato plant and the potatoes today. We had hard frost Wednesday morning, so everything was pretty much dying off anyway. That potato plant was green and growing like crazy right up until that hard frost, so I didn't want to touch it until, it stopped growing. So I did pull the last potatoes out, got some nice big potatoes. I did not get that on video because we're just trying to get everything done. Mike also pulled the last tomatoes today. We hooped them on the night before the frost. What was that, Tuesday night? We hooped them the night before, but it still got too cold for the tomatoes, so the plants died off. So we just pulled all the green tomatoes right off the plant today. And Mike, if you want to join us to say hi real quick at some point, you can. If you're too busy, it's fine. He's got projects going on. But, sorry for the interruption. But yeah, so we're pulling potatoes and tomatoes. We're probably going to see what we want to do with those green tomatoes. They're all Romas. Might pickle them. We just have to find time for those. Yeah, hoops usually work, but not when it gets down to like 27, 28 degrees for tomatoes. They definitely work for the cold weather plants. So we do have a long hoop that is full of greens. So the greens are growing very nicely, a whole variety of types in there. Oh, Backyard Eden has a new greenhouse going. That's cool. It's something I wanted to do this fall, but just too busy. I have a bunch of old windows I want to build a greenhouse with. I might do some cold frames or something temporarily. That you can set up pretty easily. So we'll see what we do with those. But let's see, what else were we getting out of the garden? We got the beans out of the garden, and I've been shelling them. And in fact, working on it anyway. I still have probably about a third of this basket full of These are baking beans, actually, in pretty good shape. So we pulled all the plants. I don't know if you can see that, but we pulled all the plants, and I'm dropping them now. And we got these nice baking beans, if that focuses. And I have a lot more to get out of their pods. So, working on that one. In fact, that's actually been my project while I watch other people's live shows. So, and I have, what else do I have? I did plant the potatoes and garlic for next year. We just did that today. Again, that one's not going to be a video, but I was just trying to get it done before dark tonight. So get berry boxes from the produce and single layer store your tomatoes in the basement. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We could do that for a little bit. We usually freeze them, so until they're ready. Well, let's just say until Mike's ready to make sauce or something else with them. And Bandana Grandma has a dream greenhouse in mind. That's cool. So, saving windows, that's good. Yeah, I picked up a bunch of free windows about, was it a year ago? Been meaning to do this for a while, so it's still on the list to do for a project at some point. I got to figure out when. Cool. So that will be coming up someday. Don't know when. The other things we had going on, we did post 2 other videos on the chickens. One was just catching them as they were trying to leave the coop in the morning. That was a little bit of a challenge because we were trying to separate out the ones we were going to call, and we were tagging, making sure all the other girls had tags, so I knew who belonged, who was the daughter of which rooster. So I trying to keep straight some of the genetics in that. And Mike's in the background in the kitchen making noise, so ignore that. But yeah, Cocoa, we can ripen them in the dark. We could do that. Hey, Mike, Coco has an idea for the tomatoes, the green ones. To put them in a single layer in the basement in the dark and let them ripen.
They're too green.
They're too green? Yeah.
There's not enough sugar in the plain rock.
Okay. They're too green, sorry, Coco. They're not even orangish yet. They're very green. But we've done pickled green tomatoes, and those are good. Yeah. But, okay, sorry, I'm reading the chat again. I think I missed something in there, but that's all right. And we're going to have a cat visitor. Asking to come on the lap. Anyway, so catching and tagging the chickens. We had a video. After that was tools of the trade. We didn't do another culling of the chickens video. We had one from last spring, so we didn't really want to redo that. Plus, we're trying to get things done. So we do have a video that we released that was more of tools that you need to cull chickens. Someone had commented on Facebook about our temperatures that we use, and Mike had said during the video that he gets the water up for scalding the chickens, and for plucking he gets it up to around 165 to 180, partially because we want it too hot and then turn the burner off, and by the time we get the bird to the point of getting in the water, it's cooled off a bit. Plus, when you put the first bird in the water, it cools off a bit. So, usually we don't actually get them into the water at 180. We get the water up to 180 and then, go call the birds, let them settle down, and then dunk them in the water. So by the time they get there, it's actually cooler. And that way we can also do about 2 or 3 birds before we have to heat the water up again. So that was just kind of in response to someone who made note that that would be too hot to, it would probably start cooking the skin, basically, make it blister, which it did not. Actually, our first bird that we put in there was our Christmas goose, and that's a big bird, cools down the water very quickly. So it actually worked out. By the time we're on our third bird, it was really getting too cold. It was really starting to get hard to pluck the chickens, so we had to heat it back up again. Finite World, fried green tomatoes. We're on the tomato topic still. Yes, I see that. So, yeah, we've done that before too, but we have a lot of them. So we usually pickle them because we can't eat that many right now. And someone else joined in. I think I missed that. Someone's saying hello, Pud? Coco. Who's Pud? I don't see a chat yet. But thank you, Finite World, for linking the videos. Those were, I think, all I got up this week. So we'll have some more. Oh, Putty Cat. Okay, yes. Like, did someone else join the chat? That's too funny. Yes, you're talking to the cat. He's sitting on my lap still. So, but he settled down. Yeah, this cat, his name is Helix with a H, not with a F. And again, that's probably just because I work in genetics. So anyway, this is Helix. He is now, how old are you? About 7 years old, I want to say. And okay. Oh, and Kirsten. I think this is the first time you've been in our chat room. So hi, welcome. So as far as, we do have a culling. If anyone wants to watch a culling video, we don't actually show the slitting of the throat, but I'm just going to throw it out there. That was up sometime in the spring. It was one of my older videos. So that is there. We don't need to redo it. And then coming up this week, we have a few things. I want to say we have 3 or 4 videos that I still have. We have a really quick one that I just need to edit down. That's going to come up for going over the first frost a little bit. I just took a short little video in the morning and some pictures, so I'll throw that together. We have yes, H2OK, Water K. Also your first time here. Thank you for coming to this. I think I saw you in chat rooms somewhere else, whichever other person was chatting. I forget whose room that was this week during a live show. So yeah, we have, I guess that's 4 videos I still have to make. I have footage for Scotch eggs, the first frost, the last forage with Nobby, and I just recorded a video today. It was really trying to rig something up to protect my raised bed that have my wild strawberry plants in my raised bed. I was trying to protect them from the chickens because I want the chickens to be able to go into my garden and fertilize the other things, but I didn't want them eating or scratching out the wild strawberries. So okay, now I get the H2OK farm. So H2O for water and OK for Oklahoma. That makes sense. So you're in a warm place too. I'm guessing you didn't have a frost yet. Cool. Stillwater, Oklahoma. That's a cool way to come up with the name. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, today we were moving the main flock out of our fenced in part of the backyard and putting them, I basically put the electric fence out in front of my raised bed area, and I have 6-foot fencing around the raised bed. And in the raised bed area, I have 3 hens and a rooster that I was using for a mating group this last year. And I want to be able to integrate them back into the main flock before the winter. So what I did was I opened my my 6-foot fence up and put the electric fence extending off of that area around, like in the yard area. And if we move the tractor, the chicken tractor, over to that area so that they can start integrating. So Lucky can meet those other hens and the rooster back there. And I think Mike's making dinner. We haven't eaten yet. Banging in the kitchen.
I'm trying to cut the sassafras.
Oh, that's another thing we did this weekend.
I think we need to get a garden clipper to cut it.
Oh, yeah? Okay. You want to say hi and what you're doing real quick? Okay. He'll be back. That's another thing that came out of our yard today was he pulled a bunch of sassafras root from, we have a ton of little sassafras saplings in our backyard, so he pulled that today. And he's trying to cut the root, but I guess it's a little tough, so he's going to go get the garden clippers. Yeah. You had a frost in Oklahoma already? How did that happen? That seems too far south, but I guess, yeah. Northern, okay, so Kristen, you're in Northern Olympic Peninsula. Where is that? That's out west? And, yeah. Oh, Coco, you found the Culling the Cockerels video from the spring, yes. So if anybody wants to see how we do process our chickens, that's an old video. So the quality, I don't remember how the quality was on that one. I think my editing skills have gotten a little better since then, but I think it was okay. So yes, Mike is doing his own project right now. He's trying to take these sassafras roots and put them in, I think with some rum and some spices, and he's gonna, make some spiced rum with all this. So he's got a little project going on that one. So he pulled those out of the ground today and rinsed them off. So I have a still picture, so I'll probably throw that in one of my intros of one of my videos. It's just a still picture of the sassafras roots. But, oh, hi, Pat. So yeah, where is everybody from? So we have someone from Oklahoma, H2OK, Northwest Washington. Okay, that makes sense. I knew I recognized the area. I've been to the Seattle area before, but I don't think I've been to the Olympic Peninsula. And for that matter, I think the last time I was in the Seattle area, I was like around 10 years old. So like a while ago. Pat Champion's joining us. For those of you who don't know, we're in Southwest Michigan. So we did get our first frost this week, which is kind of funny because the average day for first frost is the beginning of October. So it was definitely late this year. Oftentimes we'll have our first snow before Halloween, usually just dusting, and it doesn't usually last. But we usually bundle up for Halloween around here. So Coco Noel, I know you're from Michigan. We have someone from Washington, and we have Kristen's from, in Washington State, I should say, south of Victoria. That's cool. And who else do we have? Finite World. I'm actually not sure where Finite World is from. Backyard Eden. We have Discover E. Discover E, I believe, is a Michigander as well. So we have a few Michigander or Michiganian? Here's a question for those from Michigan. Finite World, Southeast Michigan, so similar around here. I actually usually will say Michiganian because of the whole, we should all know what a gander is, right? Finite World, Michiganian. I agree. I just said Michigander, but that's because most people do. Yes, that's right. Discovery, you're with Coco in Michigan. I forgot that. So you're both on. Cool. And Pat is in North Carolina. Helix, what are you doing? Anyway, so we got both coasts covered in here, so and both north and south. That's kind of cool. People from all over the U.S. Seems like male Michiganians would be Michiganders. Yeah, but historically that term was used in a derogatory way for, well, it was used before Lincoln ran for president, but it was Lincoln who, I forget who he's running against, but he called the guy he was running against a Michigander because the whole idea was he was a loud squawking goose. So, yeah. I'm trying to read what Coco just put on there. Following Glenn Miller's lead, that makes a gander meander right after the geese. Okay. That's funny. So, Lois Ann just joined us. Hello. Anyway, so we have a lot more coming up. I think the other thing we're going to do is we have a few ideas for some cooking videos that are holiday related. So we might just do a holiday series of videos in November. So I got to get this last cooking video out before it's November, I suppose. But maybe we'll make November a holiday related cooking videos, because we have, I think Mike was talking about cornbread stuffing, southern style, and we have a goose that we're going to cook. We'll have to figure out which holiday we cook that at. That was the goose named Christmas, by the way. The one who did not like me, who hissed at me and everything. So we kept Gus and we kept Lucky. So I'm just trying to see if anyone else just came up. No, it's not Lucky. Lucky and Gus are my guard geese. They're not going anywhere, and I hear they can live for years. We had an extra goose. We had one more goose than we had flocks to guard. So that extra goose got nicknamed Christmas for a while because it was the extra. So, no. Lucky is staying, and Lucky is friendly. Quite friendly. So that is another difference there. Okay. Coco was singing. Anyway, actually we have Lucky has this whole series of videos, so if you guys ever want to watch, Lucky seemed to become his own star when Justin Rhodes came to visit. So he did his own video on Lucky, because he was raised by a silky hen, which is kind of funny. He outgrew that silky hen within a few weeks. But Kristen raises geese and ducks. Yeah, Lucky is a sweetie. Lucky, and I think Lucky's just so used to me because I handled him a lot the first 2 days, because otherwise he wouldn't have made it. So if you want to see that story, you have to go back all the way to, I think it was Chick Goose. I was playing on a video that, who was it? It was Gilbrook Farm had done a duck goose, because they got ducks and a gosling just a week or two before ours hatched. So they did duck goose. So I did chick goose. That came, and then Lucky took a few days to be able to catch up with those chicks that he was hatching with. So he was a couple days behind them, but he caught up and passed them up real fast. Oh, you found us from Justin Rhodes. That's cool. Yeah, Lucky is a celebrity from that one. I probably need to film another Lucky video. I was trying to catch him tonight. We moved the flock and I got some of that on video, and he's in there a little bit, but I was trying to catch him in his baby pool swimming, because he is so funny when he's taking a bath. But yeah, Pat, when I brought the Lucky in to care for him, he still is like just chat. Like, I walk out my door and he starts chatting with us. So he's fun. Gus chats with me too, but Gus runs away from me. Lucky will stay within a few feet. He won't let us touch him. At this point, he will run away if you reach out towards him, but he stays. He'll come up and say hi and hang out with you. So that one's fun. Yeah, Chick Gosling, Finite World. That's the one. I was going from memory, so not too far off. Oh wow, Jackie Comer from Australia. Hi, Jackie. Okay, we now became an international audience. And that is actually something I was looking at just this afternoon when I was glancing at my recent videos, and I was just kind of looking at what countries people watch the videos from, and obviously most are from the US because that's where we are, and that does make sense. But we have a huge variety. I mean, even the last couple of videos that I put up, I get somewhere between 20 and, well, the big ones are like 70, 80 views in the first couple days. Those are my big ones. So obviously I'm not a big channel. But I was looking at where people were watching from, and it's cool. My biggest countries are US and Australia and Canada and the UK. But then I was looking at it, and I have India came up, I think, second most on some of these recent videos. So someone in India. I have Germany. I know I have a subscriber from Germany, and I think I have a subscriber from the Netherlands as well. And it was just from all over the place. I mean, even, I don't know what happened there. Are you okay in there?
Yep.
Okay. Just cutting stuff. So, wow, that's loud. He's cutting sassafras root, and apparently it's very hard.
That was actually chaga.
Oh, that was chaga? Okay, well then, I think you're putting chaga in the rum too?
Just a little bit.
Okay. We have some chaga from our foraging lady, Nabi, who takes us out foraging all the time. And I guess that one's a hard one to cut because he's making a lot of noise in the kitchen.
This is chaga from the other person.
Oh, who was that? Who did we get chaga from?
The Grand Rapids forage.
I guess we have some chaga from someone else. Oh well. Nabi usually has them too. Yeah. But yeah, the sassafras is getting sassy is what Coco Noel says. Yeah, there's definitely projects going on in the kitchen. What is chaga? It's a mushroom. And what kind of tree does it grow on? I forget.
Birch.
It grows on birch?
Birch and possibly
There's one other tree.
aspen, I think.
Okay, birch and aspen? I don't know.
Birch is the most common.
Yeah, I think birch is the most common, but we don't have it around here. It's
limited here.
basically a mushroom that grows in like the injured area of birch trees, and so if like a branch fell down or something, it'll grow on that. It's a mushroom or a fungus?
It's a fungus. It's a very hard, slow-growing fungus.
It's very hard, so maybe it is a fungus. It almost is as hard as the wood. In fact, it looks like a knobby outgrowth of wood on a birch tree, but the inside of it is orange. So the outside of it is like dark brown bark colored. The inside of it's orange. So it's supposed to be very good for health and stuff. I don't know all the details, but I know a lot of people who really prize it, including our foraging guide, Nabi. So he's putting some chaga into the rum. Must be a lichen? I don't think it's a lichen, because a lichen is a combination. I think, I'll try to spell it. Chaga, I just think it's C-H-A-G-A, but I could be wrong on that. Could look it up, and it is an interesting one. It's one I still have to look up and verify on health claims and all that. I kind of want to take a look at that. But chaga is one of Nabi's favorites, and it's hard to find around here. It's actually easier to find further north It's just because we don't have many birch trees around here. Um, Dude, I am not catching your jokes today, Coco. Took a liking to it. Must have taken a liking to it. Oh, this is what you put together.
We'll see what it comes out to.
Okay, what all is in here? You bring a chair over?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's putting more wood on the fire first. But it looks like we have... Yeah, I don't even know what's in here. So you'll have to explain this. Well, it looks like we have some turkey tail. You put the sassafras root in here. And some lachaga in here. Turkey tail is also a mushroom. What else do you have in here?
Let's see. So the idea was to make a
Oh, it's lit.
It's got a lid on it.
I didn't even see the lid. Okay. Sorry.
The idea was to make a root beer or a something of that nature, more for just pleasure. So what we had was a whole bunch of things laying around, so we decided to make somewhere between a tincture and a flavored drink. So it's got white rum in it, because I figured white rum would work better than vodka, although vodka could be used. It's got a little bit of water and honey, so it's a tincture because it has both water and alcohol in it. And then it's primarily has sassafras root in it. I've added in a variety of other things we had laying around. I put in some angelica root, which was purchased and dried. Put in some lemon zest, touch of lemon juice, some honey. The honey will not ferment because there's a high enough alcohol. We're not going to come down to a level where the yeast would take over it, so it'll just sweeten a little bit. We added some rose hips, some cloves, some juniper berries. Rose hip and juniper berries came off of our property. A little bit of turkey tail, a little bit of chaga that had just been laying around that had been given to us. So it's got a little mushroom medicinal in it. A touch of what else? A couple bay leaves, some allspice, 2 or 3 cinnamon tea bags, naturally infused cinnamon tea. So I'm out of cinnamon sticks right now, so I figured just black tea that has cinnamon in it. And
we need some cinnamon sticks.
Well, I can buy some more. I just don't have any right now.
Yeah, I know. Because we have some.
We could probably
cider.
put some ginseng in here, but we don't have any ginseng laying around. There is what else?
Wow. See the rose hips.
Oh, what is the herb that Navi likes with that's the long bending over?
Oh,
Solomon seal, is it?
Solomon seal.
So there's we have a couple of large Solomon seal that were actually just they were just dying off, so I pulled 2 Solomon seal roots, put them in there, and there's a black cardamom also. Although black cardamom is usually used for stew, and green cardamom is used for desserts in India and places.
Like strange brew. Yeah.
So I don't know. And then I put a whole bunch of ginger in there. I don't know if I mentioned that fresh ginger that I bought.
Yeah.
And there is some spice bush sticks.
Okay.
In there.
Yeah. So a whole lot of different things.
It's truly a tincture, and our goal is for it to be tasty, that we can dilute it down with seltzer, sugar water, or put it over ice. So the goal is that it tastes good, and that it may be a medicinal tincture that could be useful, but none of it's measured out. I don't think we've put anything in there that's going to hurt us. So if it's good for us, that's great, and if it's not, it's fine.
The $1 million question.
No, this is not a written recipe tincture. This is an end of the season fall tincture.
This is just whatever we had on hand that came from our yard or from some of the foragers that we know, basically.
Yeah, if it's too strong or we don't like it, it's unbalanced, we'll just have to dilute it with extra brown sugar syrup or something, or try to change it up in a future batch at some point. But yeah, it's a test run. We don't usually do. I haven't usually done tinctures we've been meaning to do the sassafras for a while and have just been busy. The best time to do it is right now when it's when we're heading into fall and the sap is going back into the roots. So
Yeah.
that's the main reason why we're doing it, but it's a new experiment. So
I mean,
don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, generally root vegetables that you're foraging, you want to pull in the fall because all the sugars are going back into the roots to store over the winter. So they tend to be sweeter in the fall. But yeah, that will be interesting to try, and we'll see how that is. If it tastes good, we're going to have to give Nabi some. But yeah. Best barbecue sauce you ever made, the Another Chef, was never written down and could never recreate it.
Barbecue sauce is one of those things that tends to have so many things added over time. If you don't write it down, it's really hard to get it just exactly the same.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. I've made a lot of barbecue sauces and adjusted a lot of them. And yeah, sometimes in the process, you don't get them written down. So.
Yeah.
Plan with this is it will probably sit in the basement for 2 or 3 weeks. I'll shake it up every few days because I want the water and alcohol to mix and do the extraction. It's high enough alcohol that it should preserve it for quite a long time.
Yeah.
I may strain out the alcohol at some point in a few weeks or months and re-infuse it one more time, but we'll see. I don't know.
So it's an experiment. We like doing experiments around here. I mean, we did a hugelkultur experiment. We do tincture experiments. That one was a loud experiment. Those sassafras roots in the chaga must have been hard to...
Sassafras was like a fairly hard stick. The roots are pretty big. Had to cut those with a garden clipper.
That one's the sassafras root, right?
No, that's ginger. The big
that
ones
one's
are
the ginger. Okay, the little ones are...
Some of the angelica, which is dried, looks the same. They're little slivers.
Okay.
And then the bigger nubs are the fresh sassafras.
Okay.
But the chaga is very, very hard. A lot of times people cut that on a table saw. So I just smashed it apart a little bit with the back of a knife.
That was the loud noises. Kristen's headed out, so talk to you later, Kristen. Thanks for joining us. Or it's Kirsten. I keep saying Kristen. Sorry, being dyslexic and reading. Have a good night, Kirsten. Thanks for joining us. Got to put the flock up for the night. Yeah, it's dark here already, so we have the flock in already. But and Jackie, we do have someone from Australia in the room today.
That's nice.
Yeah, we have someone who said good morning from Australia. Otherwise, it's all Americans, but all over the place, from all the way out from Olympic Peninsula, Washington, to North Carolina, down to Oklahoma, and of course, some of our Discovery and Coco, who we met at the Hoot Nanny, from Michigan as well. So, yeah, we have a very diverse group of people from all over the place today. And Finite World's also from Michigan, so we have a number of people from Michigan, which is cool. But anyway, anybody have any other questions for Mike while he's here? Because I have a feeling you're on to your next project.
Yeah, I'm running behind. I got more than I can get done tonight, but I need to get more things done.
And we haven't had dinner yet. That's another thing we have to do tonight after the live show. So thanks. Yeah, I don't see anything coming through yet, but anyway, give it a second. But anything else you had? Any other projects you had this week? Other than freezing our rears off at the market yesterday.
Yeah, we're just starting to clean up the yard a little bit for snow so that we can blow some leaves hopefully soon. They're maybe a third of the way down, but it's time to start thinking about blowing them out of the way because you never know when it's going to freeze over, and they're not going to move for months. So gotta get ready to do that. So we're cleaning up some of the stuff, getting it picked up. I went and found our septic tank clean out cap today because I have an inspection on some work projects, and the county wants to take a look at, make sure everything's good. So I had to go locate that and found that without too much work.
So you've been digging holes.
Yeah.
For sassafras and for septic system.
Yep.
Jackie has a question. Oh, so I'm new. Can you tell me a bit about what you do? In general, our channel focuses on a variety of things, primarily gardening, chickens. I do a lot of building of like chicken coops and projects and stuff outside. Mike's a chef, so he will do cooking things, which is why you'll never see me cook. He does cooking videos. I'm trying to get about one a week up right now. And what else do we do? Foraging. Foraging is the other thing we do on our
foraging,
videos.
some growing, and some other.
Are we planning on adding more hugelkultur beds next year? In fact, yes, we're going to do one this fall. Part of what we're hoping, because last fall, I dug that whole thing out by hand, and it's 25 feet long and about 3 feet wide, and I went down about, 8 inches or so, pulling out topsoil. And everything we did was by hand other than cutting down trees was with a chainsaw.
I think it's train station, almost certain. Yeah, train station.
Oh, train station behind us, yes.
Yep. My grandfather had it in his house for years, and we received it a few years ago when he moved out of that house. So I don't know a lot about it, but we like it. It sits there. It's been part of his house for as long as I can remember. So, train station. He lived in a small town where the train from Detroit to Chicago came through, although that is not the train station from their town.
No, I was looking at the back. It said something about Vermont. I'm not sure where that train station is.
I don't know.
But no, this year we have someone. If our projects are going, we might actually be having someone with some digging equipment come in. So if we could get them to do both projects at once, we'll have them just real quickly dig out where we want our next hugelkultur bed, and then before the snows hit, we'll have to fill that with wood and build the hugelkultur bed up.
Even if we don't get it all the way done, it's still So I'm thinking we may need to dig out we were thinking about putting a access door into our basement to make it easier to get down there. And if we do that, and they're coming in to do a little dig out, figured I'd see if we could send them over to the garden, which isn't that far away, without charging us too much extra money, or maybe for free, and just dig a quick trench, which will take all of about 15 minutes for them, or 3 days by hand. So if that ends up happening in the next few weeks, we'll just see if we can move them into the garden for a moment.
And if we do get that started this fall, we're definitely going to get a video of making that hugelkultur bed, because I wasn't posting videos yet when we made the last one. So
you have still pictures of it.
I have still pictures of it, and I did have that on my first intro video. I had still pictures through that, but we'll try to get the video of the process this time. But it's definitely a multi-day process, so it's going to be multi-step when we're doing everything by hand. So we don't have any big machinery to do much around here. The other thing we need to do with the leaves is bring those back into the garden, because we've been mulching with leaves, or at least we did this last year. So to add another layer of that to the garden. So another project, but that one's a little less back-breaking work. Is there another person in the room? Breakaway homesteader, cool. So we've had I think we had up to 11, 12 people in the room at once, which is cool. That's expanding each time. But any other questions? I'm just trying to think if we have any other fall projects. We have too many things on the list to do is the problem. So I think the focus will be the garden, the hugelkultur. Your project, if we could get this door to the basement.
I'm teaching 5 days a week right now, so I don't really have much extra time at all until we're close to the holidays and through Thanksgiving and heading into Christmas before that teaching schedule slacks off. So.
To live is to suffer is in here. Hi, I haven't seen you in our live show before, so welcome. You switched over classes, so 5 evenings a week, which means I get less dinner.
So I'm teaching about half time for the next 8 weeks, so it's very busy.
Finite World says, what's for dinner?
I got some salmon fillets. Nothing special. It was actually frozen salmon. And I'm just going to sear them in a cast iron pan. And we have some greens from the market. We have our own greens, but I somehow ended up with greens from the market also. I was looking for something else, and I was given a pack of those, which they're good. They're just... so I'd probably just do some greens. And
Greens and
we'll
some
look
salmon.
around. I made a loaf of oatmeal bread this afternoon, and just the bread maker, so I can throw it in and walk away. So got a loaf of oatmeal bread that's fresh and floating around.
I do love the bread maker. It saves so much time in making bread. But
yeah, it doesn't make a perfect loaf. When you do a really nice job, it comes out pretty good. It doesn't look great, but compared to having to take all the time to work bread, that would never get done. It works pretty well.
So I have a question for you. How long before we taste that for the first time?
I think we could taste it in a day or two and see if how strong it is, or if it tastes really unbalanced or bitter. I think if we have too much root material in there and things that it begins to get bitter, we might want to think about straining it out or re-infusing it with another batch of
Some sweeter things.
Well, you could. I'm not too concerned about that because you can blend it.
Okay.
You can put an ounce or two of this because there's a little water. There's a cup or two of water at this point, and there's less than a cup of honey, and all the rest of it's white rum, so it's strong. Yeah. So it's not really meant to be consumed straight. So I would cut it with something else. So as long as it's strong, but if we find that it's really bitter or unpleasant, then we might want to pull it out, re-infuse it, and see if it settles a little bit. And then, but it could be ready in a few weeks to a few months.
Oh, Backyard Eden is a chef as well, and people expect so much more for dinner. Well,
depends on how busy we are. Yeah.
I'll eat anything almost. There's a couple things I don't like raw onions is not my favorite, but I'll try anything and have tried. But you like to play at home too.
Yeah, a lot of times I'm working on projects or just using up things, or we're cooking out of the garden. So not usually on something that's very specific.
That 1870s homestead's in here now. Hi, and asking how the pasta business is going.
It worked pretty well. I mean, yesterday we had good sales, and it was really cold. It was like 38 out. It spitted rain for a few minutes at the market. It was overcast the whole day, so I think it rose like less than 10 degrees from the low to the high.
Yeah.
And we still had good sales. Not as good as like when it was 80 degrees last week, but better than we thought. So things are going good on it, and I got lots of projects. Just trying to get ready to scale up, but there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So everything's good with it. I had egg pasta out for the first week, and so I need to produce more egg pasta, and then I need to start working on some other specialty projects that I think I'll have out soon.
We had about 16 bags of egg pasta and sold out of it at the market. Everything. So, yeah.
Have more to bag up that we didn't bag because I thought we were safe with what we had, but I'll get that bagged up and go make some more.
Apparently, I'm doing a growler workout. Yeah. Will you be doing any canning? We haven't had time this year.
Yeah, I made strawberry jam this year. I still have a little bit of blackberry, dewberry jam from last year. I think we have a very little bit of cherry jam from last year. Yeah. Didn't get a chance to make that this year. And then I don't do a lot of canning because it takes a lot of effort. It's not that hard, but it takes a lot more work. I more likely make things in batches and put them in quart containers and freeze them. I find that sometimes you get a little fresher flavor unless it's like a jam or a jelly, and I think it cuts down the time, so it probably costs less. So I do have a whole bunch of ripe tomatoes in the freezer that need to be blanched, so I'm going to freeze them, which will probably slip the skins off of them from frozen. I need to make a big batch of marinara. Made a big batch of meat sauce a month or so, 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. So I need to make some more marinara sauce, and I have a whole bunch of tomatillos frozen down and some other stuff. So I was thinking about doing some Colorado or Denver style chili, which tends to use a lot of green peppers and tomatillos and such.
Has chicken in it? The Colorado chili, or
it's frequently chicken or pork or turkey. Okay. Yeah, it's a white meat.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's pork. So I'll probably get some pork shoulders. Last time what I did was I smoked them first, and then I made them into the Colorado chili. And a lot of times that uses a little flour to thicken it, but I don't think that's very authentic, although it is the style of this Colorado chili. I will probably thicken it with a little masa cornmeal, because that would seem more authentic to Spanish style chili, and then I'll quart all that up. So that'll make quite a bit. I'll quart that up and freeze it, and that will. Our freezers are full right now.
Yeah,
but they're mostly full of tomatoes and tomatillos jammed into Ziploc bags, and so I will make this and condense it down a little bit.
We actually have 3 freezers. We have a big chest freezer down in the basement. Sometimes it gets really full because if we have like a local farm that has pigs, we'll break down pork or get a quarter side of beef or whatever. We have the freezer on our main fridge, and we also have a freezer in the garage, which is a small.
Yeah, that one isn't nothing's in there right now.
No, that one we still have space. So, yeah, so we do have a lot of space for freezing things. So we're not limited on that. So no, we don't do a whole lot of canning. We did more last year there, but it was mainly jams.
Yeah, I would like to do more. Just sometimes it's easier to cook it and throw it into containers and get it frozen. If you're running out of freezer space or you're concerned about the freezer turning off and losing a lot of product, then canning is the way to go for sure. So I have space in the basement for both.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have a lot of shelf space in the basement too. So if we get to that point.
We get a lot of pumpkins and turban squash in the basement also that we pulled out of the garden, so we've got to...
Yeah. And
I got to start using those. And we have a few potatoes. Yep.
Yeah. I think we have about 1.5 baskets of potatoes. I have basically lined them with straw. So I do a layer of straw, layer of potatoes, layer of straw, and layer of potatoes. So I store it that way down in our basement. And so keeping busy. The business has been, if we ramp up, we need some more equipment, some larger equipment for that. So that's been keeping us busy, just keeping him busy.
Yeah, I got a lot of things. One man show. It's making pasta is only part of it. It's keeping the business going, doing a little bit of marketing, and working on some different licenses and the legal and the accounting end of it. All that stuff has to kind of get fit in there along with the teaching. And so it seems like I could probably take about twice as much time in a day to get as much as I'd like done as fast as I want it done. But we're having good sales, and we're just stepping forward a piece at a time. So maybe we'll get a Facebook soon on that. Right now I'm just running Instagram, and but we'll get a Facebook on that, and I've got my basic promo stuff put together and business cards and all the legal stuff's in order, been in order for a while, and just working through it.
Yeah, and I can help out with the Facebook side of things because I've been trying to take, at least this weekend, I've been trying to take pictures of the different types of pasta a little bit. So we could get some, if we're going to get a web page going too, we kind of need pictures of all these
I didn't
types.
want a web page right away because we needed a little more content to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
And we wanted to integrate our branding and other things so that it would be somewhat consistent and not get, and we know how much time website can take, so that wasn't first priority. Facebook and then website.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or maybe a 2-page website, with a front page and an order page for a while.
Yeah, well, keep it simple. Anyway, I think we're approaching 9 o'clock, so anybody else have any other questions for us this week? We're going to probably shut down here in a couple minutes. The 1870s homestead. There's another hootenanny couple just started their YouTube page, but it looks like they don't have videos yet. So be on the lookout there because they're also homesteaders if you're interested in that.
Yeah, they have a lot of neat projects. They're one of a small group that I follow, and it seems like they're always doing something that looks like fun, and I know they're pretty close to us, so kind of like watching what they're doing. And
we follow them on Instagram, so we see a lot of their pictures. Get some grub. Yeah, a late dinner tonight, but that's all right. We were working outside pretty much all day today, so it came in, it was like 7:15. I'm like, should we do dinner before or after the live show? So we'll do it after. Backyard Eden, you should use WordPress for your site.
I have heard, I know WordPress is the most common. I was given one or two others that are a little more, they're still really easy. They're a little, more creative, allow you to do a few more things. But I haven't made any decisions. I've been taking some small business and entrepreneurial classes. We have a very strong grants in our area for not necessarily money to me, but money for teaching. Some of it's food related and some of it's just business related. We had a lot of big money people in town that thought that was a good way to spend their money to help out others. So I have been working with 2 or really 3 different groups in town, and there's some big entrepreneurial seminar for small businesses, working with a food startup, and doing some things with them, and getting ready to go to Michigan, Made in Michigan conference, which is all food products from Michigan. So I'm just doing a lot of meet and greet and spending some extra time figuring out things like that, and I'm getting a lot of things thrown at me, like best uses for web, and best uses to coordinate media, and some of the people around town that do marketing in a variety of different ways. And of course, everything's on the cheap, so finding out who can give me the biggest, most professional bang for next to nothing, or what I can learn from them and do a piece of it myself. And then working on all that. And then I've got to get credit card processing set up shortly. I've just delayed on that. Most of our sales are $10. So I'm not excited about doing $10 credit card charges, like 20 or better. So we're going to get some credit card just to be convenient, and then that'll integrate into the website and such. But right now I'm just running cash and checks because I don't want to mess with all the extra fees.
Yeah. And Jackie asked, do you run your own classes?
I teach for a local community college, cooking-wise. I could do some classes myself, but I never really have. I've been so busy. I've always maintained a full-time or a time-and-a-half job and taught on the side. So I teach for them a variety of things. I am part of a food incubator group here in town. They've done a whole lot of really, like, I have a food idea and I think I want to have a business, and I know nothing about a business and nothing about food.
Yeah.
It could start that, like, I just got a family recipe and I think I want to sell it. So I'm far beyond that, in that I've been cooking for almost 20 years professionally, and that I know a lot of things about getting it out on the plate, and then some things about getting it onto the shelf. But I am working with the incubator to fill in gaps and learn from them, and learn about a lot of the resources and meet other people and get my name out. So they are a good resource. And then we have a real good active chapter of SCORE in town, which is a national organization that does senior professionals. Many of them are retired or a little well experienced in their career, and so they do free consulting within their specialty. So fewer food actually, but we have a lot of industry and manufacturing and some pretty crazy stuff going on around town. So there's some really deep resources that if we get into technical problems, finding usually signed up with 1 or 2 mentors. And I haven't gone too much into that because I'm working with a small business administration, and one of the guys has one of their head people is a food background, has owned a lot of food things. So we connected pretty well, and we speak the same language. So I'm doing a lot with him. So I have all these tie-ins and sort of safety nets to bounce things off of. And so we've been moving fast and slow and checking what's going on. I met with a bunch of other local business people that own food businesses in the area, as well as all these chefs that I've met over the last year and a half when we moved back. So I've gotten some good feedback and some push and support from them. So mostly we're just putting in our back pocket right now. We're not really asking for anything from anybody. We're just loading our pocket with resources and good ideas, and trying to stay out of a few bad areas and not make bad mistakes.
Yeah. So. No, it's nice to have all those connections set up, so if there are questions along the way or things that need to figure out, how to do specifically, or even place things like expanding, and people who have connections to different resources as far as, locations and places to rent from or buy from or whatever it's needed at that time. There's so many connections.
For me, a lot of the people, it's scale up, and how fast you scale up, and how do you solve problems like packaging, and how do you get the right labor or bring in the right labor, and how do you get a balance, because things come out of balance real quick when you grow, and to make sure that we are growing at the right speed and that we're moving towards being profitable and not taking on a load of work that we think we can do and then all of a sudden realize we don't have the resources and we're not professional enough in everything that we do, even though we put out a great product. Our product is not the problem at all. We've had, I don't know if I've had any negative feedback on the product, which is kind of scary. So it's actually just making sure we're doing everything else to support the product properly, and that when we are ready to scale up and we get a good opportunity for a large contract, that we can say yes, and then we can deliver that professionally, and then move forward onto multiple large contracts. So we're putting in foundations. It's been for the last 2-3 months. It's really, I make pasta a couple days a week, and then I put in a foundation the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep, and we've been doing late Friday night packaging before market Saturday morning, so probably need to try to adjust the timing of all that a little bit, but
yeah, we're trying to keep it ahead, but sometimes it gets a little behind.
Yeah.
Doing a PM schedule, teaching now, I get home later than a midday schedule, so figuring that out. Plus, we just changed classes, so I was shutting down one class and putting in grades and grading projects, and then starting up a brand new class. So there's a lot of extra work the last week or so to class-wise that I got to get out of the way and then return back to a little more of a normal pace.
Yep. So it's crazy. We keep it crazy around here. But with business and teaching, and I'm trying to keep up with the videos and everything. So, and to keep up with the projects before we get into snow. And, hi Helix. But I think we'll wrap it up for tonight. So thank you guys for watching. I will say that as soon as we hit 500 subscribers, we will have a giveaway. So keep a lookout for that.
That's only like, 10 or so, 12 people more? It's not
we're
many,
at
right?
486 subscribers right now.
All right.
So as soon as we hit 500, I will...
So 14 people.
14 more people. That's all it takes. But we've been, you tend to on YouTube go spike in growth and then level off a little and spike in growth. So we've been on a little bit of a level off right now. So I'm hoping it'll be soon, but keep your eyes out because we will be giving away pasta, I believe, for as long as it's, we'll have to probably keep it within the country because you can't ship food very much outside.
No, I think we have to stay within the 48 states.
Yeah. Although, what if Life Goes North wins? That's not the 48 states.
Well, we can check. We can check on shipping, and if it's not too prohibitive, we can get some. We can get some to Alaska.
Yeah.
To the other 2 states or territories,
yeah.
if it seems like it's not so ridiculous that it doesn't make sense to send pasta for a lot of money.
Yeah, so we will be having a giveaway. I haven't figured out exactly what we'll do on that, but we'll make an announcement on
But it's
how
not going to
we'll
go
do
to
that.
Life Goes North because they're already the subscriber.
No, I'm not. The giveaway is once we hit 500. It won't be going to the 500.
I thought it wasn't going to the 500. Oh,
no,
I was like...
because I can't tell always who the 500th person is. So the giveaway will be probably having to do with putting a comment on a video somewhere and then random drawing of everybody who commented on a video. So just keep a lookout for when that's coming. We're getting there. We're getting close. We went up, I think, about 10 or 12 subscribers this week. So maybe in the next week or 2 is my hope that we'll get a little burst and go over that 500 mark. So I will announce when that happens. And when that comes, we'll have a little giveaway for some pasta. And otherwise, I think that's about it for now. So I'm going to say good night to everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. And we will be here, same time, same place, next weekend, next Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Have a good night. Signing off.